For life transitions, beautiful, beautiful day. Trying to get the camera straight here, don't mind me. There we go. I'm hoping that the top of your screen, that's a little awkward, my hand. I'm hoping the top of your screen you can see a gorgeous, gorgeous scene. It's a place called Links of Kent here in Chatham. It's a award-winning golf course, but it's an event center. We're here today assisting one of the families that has engaged our services, and behind me there you see that wonderful gathering place. A family will be gathering there later this morning for a visitation time and a time of service and remembrance and music and memories and photos, and we thought it would be make good sense to answer some of your questions that we get privately constantly. People saying, well, if you operate out of a small office, James, at Life Transitions, where's our service going to be? Well, for example, as we see here above me here, the Links of Kent, one of many great locations. Great food, there's catering on site. You just have to come to see it to believe it. We're in Chatham, Indian Creek Road. You've probably heard of the Links of Kent if you're from Chatham. There's a great place to eat on Sunday mornings or any morning restaurant. But for a place to gather, the Links of Kent has become, over the past few years, a fantastic, realistic place for a wedding to take place. And part of this revolution that we are part of, that Life Transitions is part of, is that the places where these crucial, critical family moments take place are changing. For example, for our purposes, we encourage folks to find a place that's personal, that's comfortable. No one wants to walk into a place and feel creeped out, which I've heard my entire career as a funeral director. When people walk into many funeral homes, they say, "Oh, I hate this place," or "This is creepy," or "What's behind that door?" Because they generally are connected. They, as in funeral home surroundings, are generally connected to very negative things. Someone's died, something's happening, you're going to get a giant bill, all these kind of things. So erase that and replace that with a new way of finding places such as the Links of Kent to gather, such as other similar places that are comfortable for families. We are so happy to guide families. We give as much help as a family wants and requires. I've told the story many times of the definition of what the undertaker is. Not the wrestling guy, but the undertaker from, let's say, 85 years ago. The undertaker was the person that you hired when someone died in your family to undertake certain things that you didn't know how to do or didn't want to do, such as where do we get a coffin? Who is going to transport grandma's body? Things like that. But for the most part, 80 years ago, families did everything themselves. And the undertaker was a smaller role. Life Transitions is very much like that. Some families would say, James, we'd like you and Life Transitions to take care of everything. Find us a location. We want a full traditional service. We want you to do all that stuff for us. We're there. Other families would say, no, you know what? I think we got this. We need you to do the stuff that we don't know how to do and don't want to do, such as paperwork, travel to the crematorium, deal with the coroner, all of those types of things that we would gladly do for a family. But the family would say, you know what, but we got the service part, James. We know how to have gatherings. We have someone in the family that's a great speaker. We know how to make a video. And so then this scenario happens as, again, the Links of Kent, an amazing place that is available to the public, certainly for a fee. There's a rental fee, but they have all the amenities that you need. A place to gather, audio-visual equipment, catering on site, beautiful surroundings, even for photos afterwards. And so the family would say, you do that part, and we're going to do the rest. And of course, our billing would go accordingly. We would never dream of billing someone for something that we didn't do. The fees that a family would pay to rent a facility, well, that's between the family and the facility. We're happy to promote facilities, absolutely, but we're not a facility. We're a funeral company. We're an undertaking company, and this is just another example. We've been getting a lot of questions, like I said, of people saying, I still don't get it. What is Life Transitions? Because you're in this small office. Where's my service going to be? For the hundreds of families that we've already served, they get it, but we realize we we live in a community of Chatham, Kent, and Sarnia, Lambton, with thousands and thousands of other people that maybe don't understand it because they've not dealt with this yet. And we say, well, let's see, let's go slow here. Where do people gather? They gather in churches, they gather in golf courses, they gather in hotels, they gather in homes. We've been getting a lot of questions about what's called the home funeral, which again sort of harkens back to 80 years ago, before there was a funeral industry, where things took place in the home. It depends on the size of your gathering, the shape of your home, all those kind of things, but people are literally gathering for memorial services and funerals in the home. And so that list of places where people gather and have services is quite lengthy, and it's often comes down to the creativity of the family. We will give as much direction and assistance as a family likes, but we're honored to sort of walk with the family. It is always an immense honor to be trusted to do this work. I like to tell every family that we deal with directly from myself, the owner of the company, that we are extremely honored to work for you. That's what we do. We work. You're hiring us to work for you. We want to put your needs first. We want to hear your ideas. We listen carefully to the concepts and the ideas that a family would have about what is this going to look like, what should the service look like. But bottom line is, we work for you. We're not supporting a greater funeral industry or supporting any kind of historical context that we're trying to perpetuate with the funeral industry. We don't work that way. We work for the family, and it's one family at a time. A lady said to me not that long ago, I had assisted a friend of hers whose husband had passed away, and she was very, very kind to refer us to her friend. We're assisting her friend, and a day or two after the initial contact with this family, this man had passed away, the lady that had referred, she said to me, she said, "James, I was really shocked to see that it was actually you that showed up at 3 a.m. to get my friend." And it never occurred to me that people would think that we don't deal with people personally. But I said to her, it is an honor for us to work for your friend and work for you. And we keep ourselves intentionally as a tight, small group. It's Leanne and I that we deal with every family very, very hands-on. I'm the guy at 3 p.m. I'm the guy at 3 a.m. And certainly I don't want people to feel like they're sort of getting a handoff to somewhere else, to another person I've not met yet. Again, we kind of turn the hands of time back a little bit to the old undertaker that you eventually had a relationship with. He was someone that you hired and that you paid, but he wasn't just an impersonal kind of a transaction that way. And so I said to this lady, I said, well, yeah, I wouldn't dream of doing anything other than that, being there at 3 a.m. to assist your friend. And that's just the way it kind of goes. And so there's a real learning curve happening for everybody that has yet to deal with us. We are the first to encourage folks to rethink the funeral transaction. The days of everyone paying $12,000, $10,000, $15,000, well, they're over. They're not even waning, they're over. If that's not something that's on your radar, there's other ways. There's more creative ways. There's more affordable ways. We're part of a movement of families taking more control of the funeral process, of the memorial process. We're here to help in intricate ways or in very, very limited ways. Because like I said, some families, you can imagine a family that has assisted their loved one over weeks or months or sometimes years in their decline. That's a family that's very hands-on. So for me to come in as this expert and sort of push them aside and say, now you've got the funeral or the death expert, that would be obnoxious. I wouldn't dream of doing that, because the families that we have dealt with at this point that have been extremely hands-on with their declining and eventually deceased family member, they're the first to say, James, we need you to do is very little. We need you to do this stuff we don't know how to do and don't want to do. We're doing the rest. And I salute them for sure. It's a very personal thing. It's a family thing. Again, over my shoulder here, the Links of Kent, the family that's gathering today, they've just sprung into action. They've realized themselves that they're a team of people. They've turned into their own memorial team. They know the stories that need to be told. And so who would be better to organize those things than the family themselves? I hadn't gone live in a while here, and we've been because we're small, we kind of do everything. I'm kind of the chief cook and bottle washer, and Leanne is also the chief cook and bottle washer. And so we don't often, sometimes we kind of lose track of social media, but we love interacting with you on social media. The private messages we get, because not everyone wants their messages and their questions publicized. We so appreciate that, and we respect your privacy that way. And those that like and share our page, we so appreciate that, because this is an engine of ours to interact with you, the public, to let you know we exist, let you know there's another way. Something that is near and dear to us. It's something. It was connected to a post we did a little while ago, where I'd asked you, the public, your thoughts on that funeral home junk mail that we all get. I get it at home, you get it. There usually is a survey, dear occupant, that kind of thing, and it seemed to be an overwhelming response that impersonal letters in the context of funerals, they're distasteful, they're almost inappropriate. And that was always kind of my take on things also. And what also became overwhelming is people say it's relationships. We would much rather have a conversation with somebody and then make decisions, then gather information. And we have based our entire company on that dynamic of there's no arm twisting. We want to come to your home and talk about your plans if that's more comfortable for you, but we like to leave information. We like to begin the relationship and let people make their own decisions. There's no, sign up by Friday or the price is going up. We hear all kinds of junk from other funeral homes that are just kind of sales tactics. But so all that to say, we use social media like this because we want to let you know that we're just regular people. We're a small family company, committed to service, committed to a high level of service, and we've combined that with exceptional affordability. Because of removing much of the overhead of our company, we've brought the costs way down to where we believe they should be. So I'd encourage you to share this, like our page, keep asking hard questions, and we just want to get you answers and interact with you. So here we are, Links of Kent, gorgeous day. A little warm to be wearing a shirt and tie, but that's kind of comes with the territory. And I wish you all the best. This is James. Have an amazing day.